Hello guys, I will start doing leetcode contests more frequently in order to help me improve my problem solving skills and algorithms and data structures, and I will start with the easiest problem. I have solved two of the problems from this contest, and I will show the solution with you. The solutions might not be perfect, but they took me time and effort, and that's why I'm going to share. So, starting with this problem, probably I'm not able to push the solution from here. Okay, I will go to leetcode. Java, okay, I will push the latest. So if you check the problem itself, the goal of this problem is to find special positions in a matrix. And a special position in a matrix is a position in the array where the intersection between the rows and the columns the counts of ones is only one. So if you grab this cell 00 and you see how many ones there is in rows and how many ones there is in columns, you will see that the count is 2 and not 1. So this is not a special position. A special position is one like this, where the count of ones in columns and the count of ones in the rows is 1. And this is exactly what this position is. So if you look at this matrix, you will see only one special position. Now, how have I addressed this problem? What I did was to create, to say best, two arrays. One array for rows and other array for columns. Okay, and they are Boolean arrays, and they hold a value of true or false for each row or column. Okay, so if I bring the matrix of the earlier example, we'll have something like this, and here we have the matrix. Okay, and this is the rows and this is the columns. So what we will do is to traverse the matrix 3 times. It's not probably not the optimal solution. We can do in 2 passes, but either way I will share this solution. So we go here and traverse this row. We start with the rows. We traverse these rows and we see that only one element exists. So it is true. Okay. For the position, for the first row, the condition is maintained. For the second row, we also count 1 1. The requirement maintains itself, and here either the same. So for every position in every row respects the requirement. Now let's see about the columns. Column one, the first column fails. The second column fails, and the third column is valid too. Now what we will do, so firstly, in the first iteration we fill this array. In the second iteration we fill this array, and in the third iteration we will use these two arrays and the value of each cell to determine whether or not that cell is special. So the condition is something like, if row is valid and column is valid and cell the cell of the matrix is equals to 1, then we find special. So let's give a quick review of this algorithm. So for this cell 00, if we check um, the if we check the values against the two arrays, we see that is not special because the row is okay but not the column. The column is not okay. So next we move to this row and we see that row 0 is valid, but column 1 it's not. So this cannot be a special position, this one. We move forward and we see here both row and column are valid. However, our value in here is not 1, so it is not valid either. And we will continue doing this processing throughout the matrix, and in the end we will have our final answer. So this was how I solved this is the algorithm that I use for this question. However, it can be improved and be further optimized. So this is exactly what I have explained to you guys. So we have one array, we have other array, one for rows, other for columns. In here we fill the the rows array. Okay, so we iterate each row and if the count of the row is equals to 1, we put the row to true. We do the same for the column. Okay, we count all elements in a column, and if it's equals to 1, we set it to true, and then the final for loop will have the final comparison in which we will cross both arrays and check also the cell. And this is how we made it, and this was the result. Okay, it was not super fast, there were better implementations, but it worked for me.